prevention remains as important as ever, as every fire prevented is a fire that does not threaten lives and property, is one that we don't have to deal with, that reduces risk and reduces costs. Therefore, it's very, very important that we continue to recognize those that have contributed significantly to wildfire prevention. Smokey the Bear Awards does just that. It's the highest national honor one can receive for outstanding work and significant program impact in wildfire prevention. This merit award has been bestowed on well-deserving groups and individuals annually since 1957. The National Association of State Foresters, the U.S. Forest Service, and the Advertising Council sponsor these awards. And nominations are considered and voted upon by the members of the Cooperative Forest Fire Protection Committee. All three sponsoring organizations have representation on this committee. There are 3 levels of awards each year: gold, silver, and bronze. All 3 of the award categories are the highest level of recognition possible. The only difference being the geographical sphere of the nominated work. This year, only 2 bronze and 1 certificate and 1 gold were awarded in 2015. Brian Ballou, Wildland Urban Interface Specialist with the Oregon Department of Forestry, received the Bronze Smokey Bear Award for his remarkable leadership in youth and adult wildfire prevention training. He used a cooperative approach to projects, developed volunteer wildfire prevention programs with non-traditional partners, and capitalized on opportunities to communicate concepts through traditional and social media. Steve Defenbaugh, volunteer assistant fire chief from Princeton, Texas, also received the Bronze Smokey Bear Award. And he is the nephew of Homer C. Pickens, who worked for the New Mexico Game and Fish Department and assisted with the bear cub that became the live image of the Smokey Bear. Perhaps this is the origin of Steve's passion for developing and presenting Smokey Bear outreach programs. He also develops fire prevention messages that are linked to specific fire causes and target at-risk communities. The Michigan Department of Transportation received a Smokey Bear certificate for constructing stone-based electronic signs at various welcome centers and highways throughout Michigan. These signs and their wildfire prevention messages are seen by millions of visitors as they travel throughout the region. Please join me in congratulating these recipients. The Smokey Bear Award is the highest honor given to organizations or individuals for outstanding wildfire prevention service that is national in scope and spans at least a 2-year period. However, the work done by this year's recipient is not just national in scope, but is international as well. And I'd like to ask Gwen Hensley to join us on the stage, please.
So, wildfire seasons. I'm getting a little tired of them myself, but they seem to be a little longer. They seem to be going on somewhere all the time. We have a request right now to help Indonesia, who is having trouble. But like wildfire seasons everywhere, Gwen's work has been everywhere. Gwen is a visual information specialist. She spent 19 years on the Daniel Boone National Forest in Kentucky. She, as you can see on the screen, has taken ideas and concepts and given them a graphic representation. Those kinds of representations, the words, the pictures, in that form really help people like me understand. But Gwen is also part of the fire prevention team that's worked across the nation and in Jamaica. So she has reached out far and wide. She takes ideas from groups. She translates that into a communication through symbols and pictures and words that get the message to the audience in a way that they better understand and relates to their issues. Her geographic artistry brings the message to life, and she takes on many different prevention topics. Gwen is a person that is very much in demand, and because of that very fine work, on behalf of the Ad Council, the National Association of State Foresters and the Forest Service, please join me in congratulating Gwen Hensley on receiving the highest national honor, the Golden Smokey Bear Award. Apparently some of you know Gwen. And Fred Turk asked for a little bit of time. Some of you know him. And this is somebody who is familiar with Smokey Bear Awards. And Fred would participated in helping bring Gwen to the stage. He was part of the nomination process, as were a number of other people. And Fred would like to be the one that that puts the Golden Smokey pen on Gwen. So Fred.
Thank you, and thank you. I've known Gwen's work long before I've known Gwen. And many of us in the world of fire prevention education are probably in the same situation. I have it's an honorable time here, not so much for Gwen, you can see the smile and the glow from the award, but it's an honor for me to be part of the nominating process and to nominate Gwen for this recognition. There's several other people in the audience that when I called and asked them for letters of support, it was like, absolutely, it wasn't a delay. And Mark Wild is here, and Jim Funk are just a couple individuals that help support Gwen in what she does, because she supports us in what we do. So Gwen, as I give you this little golden pin, I would like you to think about us who had a small part in your recognition program. Thank you for your work, and as always, we look forward to working with you more in the future. Thank you.
I really appreciate this award, and I realize when I look back that it's not really me that has done all this work. It's been a part of a wildfire prevention and education. When you work on a team, your strengths are emphasized and your weaknesses are lessened. And when I look at the team concept, I realize that also works for everything that we do here. When you collaborate and cooperate with other agencies and with other user groups and with the public, your strengths are emphasized and your weaknesses are lessened. So I think that's when I first started in this, in 95, 98, I think, they talked about collaboration and partnerships with other agencies. And when I heard that, I hate to admit this, but I thought, oh, well, that's just another way of getting somebody else to pay for something you should be doing. And I have changed my mind, having been on prevention teams, and I see how those collaborations and how those partnerships work, how you can take an agency that may be really good at one thing but bad at another, or not very good at another. When you partner up, when you collaborate, when you find somebody else that's good at something that you're not good at doing, great things can happen in fire prevention when you take that effort and take that chance and work together to make things better to prevent fires. Thank you.